We are heading into episode 4. What an ending. I mean, that ex-fireman, he scared him till he fell off the building and then just left him to die. The show has a lot of twists and turns and people going against one another to achieve their goals. And that's what makes it pretty exciting as well, because you can't really trust anyone that much. And then there's that backstory, the history of Kang Johan and what is actually going on, because it's very clear he didn't have the best childhood or love around him. Now, was that fire set by him intentionally? Was it set by someone else? Was he supposed to die and his brother died? I don't know. There's so much going on, and there's clearly people he wants revenge against. And now we know that he was born not in wedlock. A really interesting episode because they've really highlighted just the different power dynamics between a lot of people. A lot that we as the audience can sense, but I'm wondering how much the rich really know, because they're not very observant. They're so stuck in their little bubble, and they care so little for anyone else. They actually don't see everything around them, and they're always picking at one another and saying little underhanded comments to rile one up, forgetting that he could take them all out. And now we can see why. That last moment with the church in that story, I was so captivated by it, because with Kang Johan, there is a lot of cruelty in him. And we've seen it from a kid, but we also saw how he was abused and how he was mistreated, and that festered into creating this person. Plus, when he was a kid, they all turned on him. And so he was like, okay, if you're going to do this, I'm going to make you turn on one another because you'll see how easy it is. And we can see why he wants such revenge on them, because they were then the treatment of the brother and leaving them there. And because again, that's what I like about Kang Johan's character is I can go from one moment to being like, oh, he's quite vindictive, he's quite psychotic, he's quite evil, like that's the devil side, and then to see that there's an actual reasoning behind it, and that he doesn't tend to do anything unless there's a reason behind it. Like with the flogging, that wouldn't have happened if the mom had just stepped forward and said what she did. But she saved her own skin. She didn't care about her son, so take the skin off his back. He's got a means behind everything that he does. He's just very cold and uncaring because of the way he's been treated. He's learned to hide those emotions, those feelings. Apart from this episode, where once you talk about his brother, all bets are off. But yeah, that last moment, it's just now it raises so many questions, which is great. I want questions like who started the fire, where was the little girl when she came running in, and just things like that, because it makes you go, you understand him so much better. I didn't enjoy the whole flogging side of thing, but it did show when he spoke about how human beings are the same, rich or poor. See how they were reveling in the misery the same way he was reveling in the way he was treating people. Oh, really good episode. I didn't really watch to see. It's one of those where you need to go back and watch and just pick it apart, because there's so many moments. Quite a few shock moments, but then also they like the rich are like vultures when they have new prey, and like people do that. People naturally will come together and flock if they think they can like control something and look and like something new as well, something new and it's shiny. But we'll see. But it also highlights just how far spread people were hiding stuff. You know, why they did what they did. Because it shows that it was the police, it was the fire. Like no one, by the way, no one came to him. Like he had, he's got a scar, but knowing that no one came to him with a little girl and like help them out, they were so focused on helping other people out. It was quite in a shock, because someone should have come straight up to him, wrapped something around him, checked his back, checked her, and no one cared to. And this shows you about people being about themselves, and it's about survival and looking out for yourself, and that though he is targeting the rich right now, or shall I say he's targeting those that cost him his family, he wants you to remember that that doesn't mean that the poor won't do the same thing. Everyone's tempted, and especially by power, money, greed. It will corrupt all. Such a that end part was so good, so powerful, and it really shows that he really did love his family. Like, he went back in there, he tried to, and then obviously, yeah, powerful episode.